Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the second day of the Blockchain Community Day at EPAM Systems. My name is Vivin Bopan, and I'm a product manager in EPAM. Today, we have a very interesting topic with Vitaly Vashuk, who will be presenting us on the topic Gaming Solutions as Metaverse Building Blocks. The use of Metaverse in different sectors is rising day by day. With the new dimensions that the continuous Metaverse development is allowing us to enter, it is rapidly becoming the next big thing every day. Although the use of metaverse technology has garnered interest in various sectors, the field that has captured the most attention among the various sectors is the gaming industry. The industry not only adapted the metaverse way earlier, but also retains the craze among most of the people to date. Vitali is a senior director, head of gaming solutions at EPAM. EPAM Gaming Solutions team works on a scale of 500 million plus players with a laser focus on building a reliable infrastructure, social services, and tools for the largest gaming studios and metaverse clients across EMEA and North America. Vitali brings around 15 plus years of product engineering and consulting experience in media, telecom, and gaming. Welcome, Vitali, to the Blockchain Community Day, and hope you have a wonderful presentation for our audience.
Awesome. I guess I hope you can hear me, and thank you so much for having me today. It's absolutely great pleasure to be with you. So we see that gaming industry is reinventing itself with the new gaming consoles, with the cloud streaming. We see that how many of the gaming solutions has been adopted by many companies overall globally. So we see it from the rise of not only console streaming, but also the huge community of gamers that are playing video games. So, and I hope some of you like video games, or at least your family play video games, your kids, and it's a thriving industry, and EPAM is a part of it. So a few words about myself. So I, last 15 years, I've been exposed heavily into the media entertainment space, focusing heavily on OTT providers, then how to interact with the audiences. And last 5 years, I've been laser focused on gaming and gaming solutions too within EPAM. So that's why we work with some of the largest global brands that represent the both sides, game production, so large game studios, game publishers, and also the technology providers like Amazon, Google, or Microsoft, the one that builds a cloud infrastructure for that. But let's speak more about the gaming and how it will look like. So why gaming is an interesting thing? So first of all, more than almost like a half of the planet plays video games. So it means that you, member of your family, or your friends play video games. And the rise of video games has been thriving over the last couple of years. So the few reasons for that: first of all, it's a huge penetration of mobile. There is an affordability of fast-speed internet across the globe. Now you can literally, with your smartphone, you can access to any sort of services, regardless where you are. And moreover, this has become a huge industry. So it's almost 200 billion for 2022, and it's become growing quite rapidly in the next upcoming years. And it's raised a lot of attention. Why? Because first of all, it's a huge community. With the community that you have, you can not only play video games, but also you can get an access to various types of entertainment within the video games. We see that a number of big brands are trying to penetrate into the gaming industry by bringing up their own digital items inside of the games. Moreover, we see that you cannot find any other industry that operates on such a scale. That's why many enterprise customers would like to figure out how you can build mass scale services for their own needs using the experience from the gaming world. Next thing, that all of these big guys like AWS, Cloud, Google Cloud, and as well Azure, they are all into games. So for instance, for AWS, its largest cloud provider globally, they have the whole initiative called AWS for Games. Some of the largest games like Fortnite, they are all into the AWS infrastructure. So think about, we have 300 million players and they use one cloud provider or a few cloud providers to run the huge scale video games. Google, they have their own focus on cloud industry. They have the YouTube with the initiatives for games. Then also we have with AWS or Amazon, they have Twitch, where people can stream and share their player experiences. And of course, we have Microsoft with Azure and with an Xbox. And for instance, Microsoft, they have the whole initiatives focused on gaming, also cloud gaming. They have Xbox Game Studios. Recently, they acquired Activision Blizzard, which is one of the largest game provider. So you see that why all of these giants are coming to gaming, because it's a huge audience, it's a huge consumption of cloud services, and moreover, it's a exposure into the audience, a new type of audiences that no one can imagine. What happened next? Now, again, we have our own mission as our team within EPAM. So our goal is to take out complexity out of infrastructure to create also online experience for players. Why it is important for us? Just because with the mass scale of video games, you have a lot of services that has to be used, like a voice, authentication, different type of player support services, content moderation, etc., etc., etc. And this has been used on a massive scale, and it has been tested already. And now we have a new word that you can see right now. People call it Metaverse. So it's a hype word. I can say it right now. Many people literally trying to bring to this terminology anything that can imagine, just because it's a new hype word. Imagine a couple of years ago, everyone's talking about AI machine learning. People start imagine different type of initiatives within that, but then it's become just like adapted technology that you use in your daily basis. Then before that, everyone's talking about cloud, that hey, cloud is coming, it will reimagine world. Now who's talking about cloud? It's just a part of our regular routine. That's why when you think about Metaverse, the thing that appeared way before Mark Zuckerberg started bringing up to the public. So for instance, for the gaming industry, it has been 40 years, even say maybe even for decades. Why? Because you put a digital character inside of the virtual space where you can do a specific set of actions, you can collaborate with other people, and then create a new type of experiences. Is not it a video game? Yeah, it's a video game that you play daily. And that's why many people are trying to make a whole characteristic of what is Metaverse and how it will look like. For instance, there is no authoritative definition, but there are several thought leaders trying to define what is Metaverse. I think that I like really the definition of Andreessen Horowitz, which now one of the largest venture capital company and with the whole division into gaming. And I like that it is a persistent, it is infinitely scaling virtual space with its own economy and identity system. And of course, companies like Epic Games, for instance, they are creator of Unreal Engine. I'll speak about it in a bit. So they're talking about that it's a real-time 3D social space where people can create and engage in shared experiences and participate in economy inside of it. So it's like come from science fiction. How can you collaborate within something? But it's already exists. So it means that Metaverse, as not only as a term, but also as the early stage adopted technology already exists. And the early adopters of it are games companies. And now we can see that many of the other brands like Nike, Adidas, other things, they're trying to step in there. But what whole kind of persistence comes from Metaverse. It's a community, and it's a community, it's a virtual environment, and where is the largest community, where the people that are most passionate about everything. It's about gaming. So that's why we see that a lot of thought leaders comes over. So for instance, now we live in a Web 2 world. So we have web developers that are architect of the internet as we know it. So we have websites, we have just a regular sort of web resources that we're using right now. And now we're talking about what will happen next. And we see that the architects and the developers of the metaverse are game developers. Why? Because they already use all of this 3D spatial technology. They know how to interact with the community. They know how to build virtual environments. And these are people that came from the gaming industry. So key things about what is metaverse and how it's relevant to the gaming today. So we already talked about few words about metaverse, about gaming, but how it came as the whole ecosystem. So first of all, we have the core, and the core is a game by itself. So you can think about Fortnite, you can think about Roblox, you can think about Minecraft, the thing that brings a lot of the communities. Then we have games as a service. So then you have another exposure. So you have different type of seasons, you can have a battle pass, you have downloadable content, you have different type of subscriptions that you're going to do. Then you have a competition. So you have competitive play. You can do the esports. You have to do the tournaments. And of course, then you come with the community. So we have the influencers. For instance, some of the examples can be Ninja. So it's one of the most well-known streamer, and he was one of the early adopters of Fortnite. So he brought the whole community of millions and millions of people around him because they like how he plays Fortnite, and then they started playing the game by itself, and then create communities around that and do some creative forums, etc. And of course, we have games as a franchise. So we see that some of the examples can be the. We see that some of the studios, like Netflix, as an example, they adopt characters from video games and start shooting their own seasons and start selling physical merchandise, etc., inside of their ecosystem. And we see also games as a platform. So one of the good examples can be Roblox. So Roblox, they create a whole universe within the creative non-gaming experiences inside of Roblox. So you can see the concerts, you can create own video games inside of the games, and it's create a real metaverse type of experiences overall. Well, and now we can see that how this metaverse can be connected with everything. So first of all, we have on the bottom side, we have creators and developers. It's the people that are trying to figure out how they can connect with the community, with players and users. And the whole point out of that is to create a creator platform. So first, we need to have creation engine. So you can use, I will talk about them in a bit, but creation engine is something that you can create the experience within the game, like 3D special environments, rendering, and how you can start moving objects, digital objects inside of the virtual world. Then you have a sort of different type of services. What kind of service can be? It can be the voice, it can be authentication, it can be the identity type of services, it can be the player support, content moderation, live engagement, things that makes the game livable, because you need to use dozens of services to work on it. And then you have content distribution. Why? Because you need to create content. You need to create something that is fun for people. How can you create a concert inside of Fortnite? Or you can create the, you can build a store of digital items. Maybe you can sell NFT, and then you can do redirect something to the digital physical world. And of course, we have first version of the metaverse. It is Roblox, it's Fortnite, the Minecraft. There are the other examples, can be like Decentraland, for instance. And then you have users and players that interact with the content, create new experiences, and have fun. And then we have virtual worlds. So as I talked before, we with the gaming space, virtual world, it's something that already exists for decades. So now we see that a lot of new companies are trying to build their own version of virtual world and said, hey, we created metaverse. No, it's not exactly. You already created the another game or another virtual environment, or another creator can purchase night gear for their own avatars. This is something that is happening all of the time. And there are like two things. There are some of the virtual worlds focused on the gameplay, so you can have fun, like Roblox, Minecraft, etc. And another type of companies, they're focused on creator economy. So you need to work, you need to do some actions in order to receive virtual currencies, and then you can exchange the virtual currency into something else. So more like a play to earn kind of experience, but inside of another environment. What will survive, time will tell. However, I strongly believe that people come to do something just to have fun. And if they can make more things around that, it's way more stickiness versus just you need to work inside a virtual environment and then do something else. But time will tell. And now we see that there are some different virtual worlds that already exist, from Sandbox to Roblox to Fortnite. And some of them, they already have hundreds of millions of players. I'm talking specifically about Roblox and Fortnite. Some of them way smaller, like Decentraland, where it is open source, it's a 3D virtual world. They already have an element of blockchain, like on Ethereum level. Then we have the Sandbox, it also runs on the blockchain. This is like a new type of companies like Sandbox and Decentraland. And we have the already existing big platforms that have not been used blockchain technology yet for a number of reasons, but it's a next generation and they may use it sooner or later. Yeah, and now I would like to talk in a bit about one thing. It is called game engines. So for those who doesn't know what is that, this is the core of the metaverse. This is the core of every video game. This is the type of platform that will allow you to visualize and make it live, your digital characters within the game or within the virtual environments. And with that type of technologies, and there are literally like a few game engines. One of them is Unreal Engine, another one is Unity, and there are like a few others that are way less exposed. I will spec about something right now. One of the engines called Unreal Engine. Our team is very heavily involved into the development and working with the technology. But instead of talking about that, let's see it in a second. All right, so how cool is that? So you can literally create various types of experiences using the Unreal Engine or another companies like Unity in order to create different types of experiences for the games, for the metaverse, for your own enterprise type of apps that you would like to use. And it's become way, way easier to work with the content. And the content became not only in the various types of perspectives. You can do it in a Roblox style, which is more like a cubicle, or you do it more like a photorealistic. One of the examples was a meta-human or digital humans. So you can bring your own characters into life, or you can bring physical objects into the digital space, or you can make a cities with just special data tracking into the virtual world. I'll speak about it in a bit. And a few things. What are Ganges? This is like the tools that allows you to work with 3D objects and display the animation. You can integrate it with various types of devices. Internet of Things, you can get potentially start transferring the data and like bring like biometry from people. And as well, you can create new type of user interfaces to support informations from stream and analysis of that. I think the good examples can be using the digital twins. You can use a digital copy of the city, put it into a virtual environment, and figure out how you can model the city about what will happen next. So I think good example can be the latest Matrix Resurrection, you've seen with Keanu Reeves. So all of the movie and most of the effects done in the Real Engine. So they build the whole city, focus on that. I would highly recommend to find this video on YouTube. You can see what is real and what's not real, and how it's very, very hard to figure out what is a real person or what is a digital human person creating a Real Engine. So then I think I can give you one of the examples my team has been working on for the last couple of years. This is the Metaverse ecosystem service primer. What is that exactly? So it's a real type of ecosystem of services for one of the largest video games that manage right now worldwide, which is a prehistory of Metaverse. So where my team has been working on in multiple areas, from engine to the game by itself, to the infrastructure, security, different type of API and SDK, which is called online platform, which is connected with game services, social experiences, public and internal apps, media type of service, player management, analytical. Why it is important? Because unlike many of the Web3 or blockchain games that already exist, they are able to bring very, very little audiences as of now. While with the current system that we see, they already brought hundreds of millions of players together. Now, this is the key door opener for many of the new type of companies that would like to develop something on top of this ecosystem. So then I think we talk about engines, and now the interesting part out of that are avatars. So avatars are different. So it's very important to bring digital identity into the virtual space. And we see different of them. We see from the like a sandbox environments where you have kind of very, I would say, special type of representation of yourself, into something more like almost like a Lego style with a Roblox. Then we see like different type of virtual avatars like another crypto companies like Decentraland. And then we see up to the more avatars trying to be more like human realistic, like game like a Second Life, which is an older one, but it looks the very, very photorealistic, let's call it like that. And it depends how you're going to show yourself, but in my view, the digital identity should be transferable, and it should be applicable to the specific game or virtual world where you are. In one place, you would like to be like a Fortnite character, another one you would like to be more like in a Roblox style, or you can look different, but you would like to transfer your identity from one place to another and look accordingly to that. And then you see the different type of a lot of headaches that you need to create and need to work with in order to create these virtual avatars. Because not only you would like to create avatars that is similar to you or similar to your personality, but also there are a lot of avatars comes out of the real world. For instance, movies, or we can see some of the avatars like Ariana Grande that has been inside of Fortnite for their own for the concert. And then we see another avatars comes out of the visual effects area from the movies or from the other special event that comes out of that. And then we see how things can work. So you have avatars, then you have the game engine, and then you would like to have some fun. And some of the good examples are the in-game events. So this is like a real metaverse type of experiences where you brought up millions and millions of players together to celebrate some things. So some of the examples can be like Travis Scott concert or Marshmallow concert, where you brought together simultaneously 5, 7, 13 millions of players to do some fun. And we see it across all of the other platforms, inside of Roblox, inside of the other examples like the Decentraland, and it's coming and coming more and more. I think as a good example can be how metaverse experience can look like inside of the Fortnite for a concert like Travis Scott. So you can see you have the very famous musician comes over, represent a new track inside of Fortnite. He's wearing a Nike shoes. They will show it here. This shoes has been sold out by Dropout. It's an enormous amount of money almost immediately. Then you brought all of the players inside of the game. They can purchase special experiences, and then you have a lot of fun for that. And as well, you can see that we need to use technologies like MetaHuman, where you can create your own avatars. And these avatars can be used not only for the game, but for the other experiences, like customer support or movies, or any sort of areas where you need to create digital humans, and number of use cases are enormous. And as well, digital twins. So as you see, we talked about the audience, we talked about engines, we talked about digital avatars, but now we see that what comes next and what is coming to this space. And what is happening that many of the global brands, they would like to be within the gaming space, but gaming space equal metaverse. Why? Because you have an access to the huge audience, the audience is ready to pay for the experiences, the audience is open for the new things, and it's a non-traditional way of developing your own brand. So one of the example is Balenciaga. So it's a fancy brand, extremely pretty pricey clothing, and then how you can talk about your representation in new type of environments. Let me see how it will look like and how Balenciaga brought experience inside of Fortnite, and not only in the digital world, but also in the physical world simultaneously. Look on that. Isn't it cool? Yeah, so you can play in your favorite game, you can buy some crazy outfit within the game, do some fun there, and also if you want, you can also have it in a real life. So this is connecting physical and digital world under one circumstances. And see it more and more how new brands are trying to provide their own physical item into digital world and vice versa. So what happened next? Again, I talk about how the metaverse is impacting. For instance, one of the example is EPAM recently also acquired one of the companies that is focused on developing a metaverse type of experiences for telecom carriers. Why? Because you can use the game engine and you can put all the stuff inside of the VR in order to focus how you can help your own customers. Look on this demo for a second.
Stop. Come away with me, come, let's go away to be on a new adventure for two. We can fly across the ocean or take a train together. I don't care as long as it's beside you. Take a road trip in a car, we'll get lost and go too far. While on the beaches we will watch the sunrise. If we're done, there's all to do. I'll just sit and stare into your loving face, graced with those beautiful eyes. I have fallen madly in love. You're the only one I think the world of, and I will stay true. 'Cause you got it, you got it, you got my heart. I know together we'll be forever.
So this is about how you can literally connect physical and digital world by using game engine technologies. In this case, it was another, not Unreal, but another game engine. And then you can connect it to various types of backend systems. So kind of work system, and then as well media entertainment part. And then you can think about more like an extended version of your existing laptop, and then you can do more things in your augmented reality glasses, as an example, or virtual reality, depends how you look on that. So
from Star Wars,
and another thing that I really wanted to share, that we see that a lot of we just talked about design, we just talked about the events inside of the game, like using music type of composers. We talk about the enterprise use cases, but also you can see that inside of the video games, like this one is a Fortnite, you can also start presenting a new mass scale representation. For instance, like a Star Wars movie, how you can present it in a very, very unusual way. Why not to present inside of Metaverse? This is an example how you brought up the experiences together with like J.J. Abrams, who is one of the kind of legendary people in terms of the movie world of Star Wars. You can bring Star Wars inside of the game. Look at this. Oops.
From Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, which is in theaters on Friday, December 20th. I am in the scene. Let's check it out. I'm in the scene, definitely.
All right.
I'm in the scene.
It's going on.
I'm in the scene.
You all see him? Oh my God. Here we go. Look at that resolution. See you later, guys. Whoa. What's in the chest? Oh, come on. Yeah, boys. I got the lightsaber. Oh my God. And everyone gets the color of lightsaber that they chose. Come on. Come on.
Yeah, that's a fun. So think about that. You can literally see one of your favorite movies. Then in a second, you can be inside of that movie with your friends, doing some crazy stuff, doing some special task for that movie. And it's not only you, your friend, but also millions and millions of people simultaneously. That's how it's cool it can be. And what we've been talking about today, we just covered different use cases, but also how you can bring these game engines into the other metaverse experiences. I would like to show you how it looks like on the example of non-games use cases. It is how you can digitize physical world inside of the virtual worlds. So all of this stuff is done using the spatial technologies and visualization of the cities and representation of brands inside of it. Like automotive, where you can change the color of the car, they can create a new type of advertisements. You can shoot movies in a way better resolution than before. You can create video clips for your favorite artists. And you can create crazy experiences. Create humans, create housing, make changes of architecture. do a cyberpunk experiences. And also create cool games in a very high resolution. So we just talked about some cool stuff. So again, in order to create it, we also need to do some equipment. For instance, at EPAM, we do the development and testing of many, many cool things. So this is like the example of one of the work tables. So when some of our developers, they need to work with a number of different equipment. So with the PC for work, with a very, very high GPU, with high RAM, with an access to various types of devices. Why? Because if you do your own cool experience, you would like to make it accessible, not only on the PC, but also on iPhone, Xbox, different type of other devices, just because you want to get your audience faster. And this is like some of the example of our developers that works on, develops and testers that works on the testing of some of the game engine technologies, as an example, and let's do it in the real life. We see that more and more cloud technologies like game production in the cloud are starting adopting. So in this case, it can create and decrease the number of equipment you need to have. And instead of having a powerful GPU and CPU, you can have it in the cloud. And this kind of the cool stuff that you can touch. So maybe one word that makes sense to say. So some of you who are here, you already developers, or you already consultants, and they're like, and they think, where can I start? What should I do? How can I do some cool stuff? Is it like, do you need to have a special knowledge? I would say it depends. So for instance, if you want to be part of the Metaverse initiative or some cool gaming initiative project, doesn't mean that you need to be a Metaverse expert, because they don't exist, literally. If someone can say that I'm a Metaverse expert, you don't believe this person, because they don't exist. Most of the people that can talk about something, they came from the game world, because they work with game engines. They work with 3D technologies. You can be a developer of Unity or Unreal, or you need to know how ARKit work, as an example. Another thing is you can be just a developer of mobile applications, because any of this tech needs to be interacting with a person, web or a specific backend, or you can be part of the tools development where you need to do focus on ecosystem safety, engagement, etc., etc. And for all of this tech, you don't need to have a special knowledge just to be the regular developer or consultant or product manager or quality assurance or data engineer, and all of this tech is coming. So that's why if you think that you don't have enough knowledge, it means you have enough knowledge. You just need to use a piece of the technologies which you need to use. As an example, like mass scale multiplayer games that are like prototype of Metaverse needs to use dozens of microservices, and that written in Java, Scala, or Go, and you just need to be a developer and trying to be acquainted with the terminology that comes out of that. Yeah, so, and again, we have 15 more minutes to answer the questions. You can connect with me on LinkedIn or Twitter, or just write down the email if you want and ask some questions. Also, we're hiring. So EPAM is hiring. We have a specific roles within our gaming solution team, but also we have way more roles within EPAM. So if you can see some of the roles that you like, just don't hesitate and apply it. And sooner or later, you can have a chance to be exposed to some of these initiatives that will work with one of the largest gaming customers and Metaverse customers globally. So yeah, thank you so much for your time. And Vivian, do you have any questions that came from the audience?
Yeah.
Happy to answer.
Thank you so much, Vitaly, for this wonderful presentation, and thank you for mentioning Matrix. Matrix being one of the, I'm a Matrix super fan from the first set of Matrix, when the Neo just went down and then flew up to the sky. So I understood now that how much importance the gaming engine has influenced the whole VFX effects I've seen and admired in the Matrix series. So thank you for mentioning Matrix. We have a few questions from our audience. The first question that I say is, what are the technological challenges of the Metaverse gaming industry, according to you?
Well, I think that I think there are like multiple things that can be applied. So one of them is that we see that multiple companies are trying to do something in Metaverse. So, and these tries are very unsystematic, and it's good. Why? Because it's a creative process. By tries and falls, you need to find what will be the way out. But I think the biggest technological challenge that I would say it's there are no standards, and it means that imagine that if Facebook launches their own metaverse version in Horizon. We see Roblox already have it. We see that Fortnite has it already too.
Yeah.
And what is happening right now is like fully siloed type of conversations. This is very, very similar to the one. Imagine that you have a cell phone, and from that cell phone, you only can call to a list of your friends that you have. But if you have another phone dial, you won't be able to reach out to these people. Is it a good open world? Probably not. And as the world comes to a more open communication, where you can easily just having whatever communication tool you have, you can contact your friend. And with that perspective, it's very, very easy and convenient. It's free most of the time. So imagine if the metaverse will be not like that. You won't be able to call to your friends, you won't be able to talk to your friends because they're just on another platform, and it creates a lot of, I think, hesitation. I think secondary, I think maybe it's not even a like technological challenge, but it's more about the kind of usage or try usage. So we see now that many of the brands, and it's good because they come into that, but they are launching, I would call metaverse experiences, mostly for marketing needs. You can say, hey, let's not name brands, but hey, brands come to the metaverse, and everyone's trying to use. They see the Unity or Unreal Engine demo for 1 or 2 minutes in the virtual room that they walk around, and that is done. Is it a metaverse experience? Definitely not. So what it was achieved by this company, yeah, they get a lot of hype, they get a lot of likes. They said, hey, the brand is coming to metaverse, but it's not a metaverse, because metaverse is a place, an area where people can interact and communicate with social experiences inside of that. And that's why when I heard about this one retail brand trying to build metaverse experience, I think it's not the best. I think that this experience should be built on the platform with the community, where people came together to have some fun and communication, not just because there is a shoe or a store that just put a 2 minutes demo for that. This is probably the biggest challenge. But I believe that over the next pretty short period of time, we see more and more experience move inside of this large games communities, or within the social experiences. Potentially Facebook, we'll see if it will work or not. And that's kind of the perspective. Maybe last but not least, you mentioned technological challenges. One of the challenges is like VR by itself. VR is a great tool for those who use Horizon 2. It's an amazing experience. I'm telling you, tried it a few times. However, it's a little bit of the barrier for people to use it. Why? Just because you need to purchase it as a separate device. You need to see more and more use cases for usage of that. But why do you need to do it if you have this magic tool like that, like your mobile phone? And this has a lot of power to do a lot of cool stuff. And should it be like a 3D environment around you or not? The time will tell.
Okay, thank you, Vitali, for that. So the next question is kind of continuation. So the question is, in your opinion, will Metaverse likely to have a few major platforms, or it will have hundreds and thousands of virtual worlds with unique experiences? So is there a possibility for everything to integrate into a few platforms? Do you see that?
So I see that is like that. I'll try to answer as direct as possible. I don't believe in one universal platform where it will bring every experiences together. It's probably not possible, just because it's also a competition. Because one company can say, hey, I know what the right version of Metaverse. And I said, no, Facebook can say, I know what my right version of Metaverse is, or Roblox will, I know this is my version of Metaverse. And that's kind of create a lot of silos. That's reality. And I also will be very surprised if, I don't know, like some retail brand, let's call it, maybe, I don't know, Zara is going to say, we have own Metaverse version, come and go there. Yeah, people from Zara maybe go there, but how long time you will spend in that platform? So my point that all of this platform has place to live. The users will tell if this platform can survive by using it. And however, there is a one over the last probably kind of almost this year, a lot of conversation about can we standardize some of the areas what we are developing. How can we create a plugins that can interconnect one experience to another? For instance, if I play Fortnite, how can I potentially transfer my experience to Roblox, or how can I transfer experience from Roblox to Zara without like, you know, degrading experience for myself without logging out? And I think in this direction there is open Metaverse standards forum that already aggregated hundreds and hundreds of companies that are trying to figure out about, hey, if you build some experience, can it be shareable? Can it be connected to something else? And that, I think, became a potential talking point. But it's not an ultimate, but it's how you standardize the stuff. The same things that we see with the USB-C. Yes, globally. Okay, we have Apple that create their own standard. It cannot be used anywhere else. But USB-C is a type that's used everywhere on other platforms. So is it good or bad? Good for Apple, but for everyone else. That's
I think the European Union has also told Apple to stop making their own specific thing and try to make it standardized for everyone. So hopefully that will be of the future.
Yeah, that's why. But I don't want governments to come and dictate what other people should do, because this is the whole point of decentralization. But from that perspective, a dialogue to make things happen.
Yeah, thanks, Vitaly, for that. The next question is also closely connected. So the participant asked, not everyone will have access to expensive gaming gears. Do you see the metaverse gaming future making it affordable for more larger audience who can't afford such a strong engine for their CPU or have the VR device, etc.?
So I think this is like, there's a number of things in this questions, and it's a great question. Thank you for asking. So it depends from whom we are talking. Yes, if we're talking about developers by itself, yes. So right now, for developers in order to use game engines, they definitely need to have, I would say, quite powerful machines, especially with GPU, to create experiences. And this is what already exists right now. We see also many indie developers, they use maybe less expensive machines trying to lay things around, and they create experience anyway. We also see, and my team say that some of the cloud providers, most of them, they're trying to bring the game engine into the cloud and game engine development to the cloud. So in order to create experiences and make it more affordable and do like kind of develop as you use. And then we have another things, consumers and players. So there is a technology called, it says, is it like pixel streaming or cloud streaming, or cloud gaming, you can call it whatever. But the key thing that you have the literally game client, game server in the cloud. So it means that you have a rendering inside of your GPU, it's happening on the cloud side. So in this case, you don't need to have a powerful machine. You can play the latest version of the game, latest metaverse kind of application in the cloud instead of having rendering inside of your own machine. And this technology already works. We have with NVIDIA, GeForce, I'm sorry, with NVIDIA Tech, we have it already. And secondary, you mentioned affordable. So everyone on Earth has a mobile phone. So mobile phone is an affordable thing. So you can play your video games and you experience inside of that using your mobile phone. I think mobile is one of the best way to penetrate into users.
Okay, perfect. That's a good answer. So one last question, which was when you showed the job description and the experience required and the equipment, somebody asked, how can I become a game tester in the school team at EPAM?
Yeah, so again, that's a good question. So at EPAM, look through the open racks. If you see any game testing type of roles, I would encourage you to apply. So that's something that the only things can happen. If you don't find the rack, if you don't find the opportunity, if you think that, hey, something I need to learn, I would highly encourage you guys to look through the already open game engines and like Unreal Engine or Unity courses. So usually in maybe 160 hours, if you're not an experienced users, you can be on a right level to understand, especially Unreal. Unreal is a bit more difficult, but it's paying for itself. And so you can create your own experiences. So you can not only test, but also develop. And I think that's a good stuff to see. Moreover, you mentioned game tester. So you can test video games, but also using the same technologies, you can test metaverse experiences for enterprise. So for instance, if you would like to create experience for enterprise, and it will be done by Unreal Engine, it's definitely need to test it because there's a lot of content there, a lot of new things that should be done by the same game tester overall.
Okay, cool. Then thank you so much, Vitaly, for that answer. I think some of the participants say they want to explore that avenue within EPAM as well. So thank you for that answer. This concludes our session. Thank you for this wonderful presentation and your wonderful answers to the questions that the participants asked. Thank you, participants, for your continuous participation throughout the session. Just wanted to say that there will be free NFT giveaways for all the participants who post those valuable questions. Thanks, Vitaly, once again.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.